All right, so back to it. Number 5. I think I'm the only one.
Santino, be proud of where you put that movie.
All right.
Exactly. Number 6, Snyder Cut Pride. All right, so number 5. I think I'm the only one here who has seen this, even though, Santino, I know you wanted to see this, but you didn't get to yet.
Oh.
Last Night in Soho.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen that one.
I will say, Chad, that one is higher up on my list.
Then we will wait. Good. Then we'll wait. All right, yeah, number 5, Last Night in Soho, but we'll talk about it when we get to yours, Ken.
Cool.
What's your number 5?
My number 5, had a hell getting around to it. It is an Apple TV exclusive. So I doubt if either of you have seen it. It is a movie called Coda. Have either of you even heard of this?
I've not.
Santino?
Nope, I have not. What is it about?
Okay. So Coda actually stands for Child of Deaf Adults. And it's basically about this girl named Ruby who is the only hearing member of her family. She and her parents run a fishing company. Her mom is played by like the Hollywood deaf actress Marlee Matlin. And her dad is played by a theater actor and director for the deaf. And her brother is played by a deaf actor as well. And pretty much she has a passion for music. She loves singing, and she wants to go to Berklee College of Music, but her family's fishing business is struggling, and especially there's a moment where her brother and her dad are out on their boat, and they run into another boat that's run by the U.S. Coast Guard, and the reason they run into them is they're not looking, and they can't hear their sirens going off, and so basically they're told, hey, you can keep your
Hello? Ken?
go to the Berklee College of Music and being there for her family and their fishing business.
Huh, that sounds pretty cool.
And the ending is just heartbreaking. Well, I won't even say heartbreaking. It makes you tear up, but it's beautiful tears, and they're happy tears. And she like does this audition. Well, no, I'm not going to talk about that. I will talk about this one really cool scene where she and this guy that she's sort of crushing on, and they're partners in this music class. They go to do a recital, and they're singing this song together, and her family comes to see them. And like halfway through the song, the music just cuts out and it goes mute, and it just goes to the parents' perspective, and it sort of shows they can't enjoy this, like, and they're looking around and they see people bobbing their heads and tapping their feet, and pretty much when everyone stands up and starts clapping, that's when they get up and start clapping, and it sort of goes to show they can't experience this the way she would like them to. It's really a beautiful story about family love. It's a good coming of age story.
Nice.
So highly recommend.
All right, I'll put on my list again. So
if you can get to it. I had a hell of a time.
I'll find it for sure. So I guess my number 5, right?
Yes, sir.
My number 5 is Demon Slayer Mugen Train. I know this came out in the States because I think one of you said it. It's getting like big numbers here in the box office. It is absolutely worth it because Demon Slayer Mugen Train like comes after the first Demon Slayer. And I will say this. It's a better Inception movie than Inception.
Okay.
You just have to watch it for yourselves. I don't want to spoil anything because I'll make this brief. The animation, 10 out of 10. The story, 10 out of 10. The last fight in this movie, 10 out of 10. This is one of those movies where I just feel like you have to see it on the big screen, or you have to see it on the biggest screen possible, because you just have to appreciate how good this movie is. It really is amazing. I really recommend you watch it. And I think, Chad, you're someone who loves demons and the horror, so I think you'll like it. Ken?
I love demons. Where do you get that from?
You like demonic, you like, demonic stuff, like, horror, like, what I meant? Like,
if it's a good movie.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, this is a good movie.
Okay, just so nobody misinterprets what he's saying. I'm not a Satanist.
Yeah,
I know. That is not a devil
I'm so
worshiper.
sorry. I didn't mean like that.
This is a Christian channel, fellas.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well, it's a movie channel run by Christians.
Yeah.
I was like, run
not
by
that we
a Christian, yes.
Sorry. I phrased it wrong. Chad, you like horror movies, right? So, and you like
I wish I could like see certain people's faces like, oh my god, like, is he like evil? He's into demons and stuff.
So
no, sorry, go ahead.
So you like horror movies with demons in it. So this is a horror anime movie with demons, dreams, swords, and action all rolled into one, and it is an amazing film. I highly recommend to both of you. But you guys have to watch first the anime series, the 26 episodes before Mugen Train, so that you can understand what's going on. Because like, I cannot explain it properly. But you just have to. All right. You put it on your list. Put it on your list. So yeah.
Cool.
So now you're number 4, Chad.
Number 4. This is another one, especially where we're at right now. I'm guessing I'm the only one. Army of the Dead.
Oh,
have not seen it.
I have.
Oh,
it
dude,
was okay.
it was on Netflix. You should have watched it.
It was okay.
Yeah, I think I liked it better than the average person because I love zombie movies. I like running zombies. I don't know why. Like walker zombies always make me feel like, how did these things take over the planet? Just how? But it's like runners, I completely understand. They're unstoppable.
Runners are like scary in a more like realistic sense, like a tiger or an unsatiable beast coming at you. Walkers are creepier to me. Like in the original Night of the Living Dead, just seeing them like walk in and out of the shadows of the trees is just creepier to me.
Oh, no. I completely agree with that. They are far, yeah, creepy is the perfect word. To me, it's just like walkers, I always just look at them and I go, how did the earth get overrun by walkers? That one never makes sense to me. But Army of the Dead, what I liked about it was Santino, I know you really hated the dude's daughter. Like, I know a lot of people hated that guy's daughter.
I'm sorry.
But it's like I said, but you know what? We just talked about the other night where it's like young people make stupid decisions.
Right.
She was a young person who made a stupid decision.
Yes, you can make stupid decisions, but when you hurt other people like what she did.
She didn't intentionally hurt anyone.
She killed everyone.
Let me say this.
Intentionally.
Let me chime in as the person who hasn't seen this. Chad, is this stupid decision as stupid as the stupid girl in Zack Snyder's Day of the Dead who risks everyone's lives to save her fucking dog?
No, that was dumber.
That was dumber than this.
Okay, they're in a building where they need to get out, and this girl tries to go find this woman that she told her dad when they were going into Vegas. She said, I'm going in to help save this woman because she's my friend. And she went off to find this lady in a building they thought was empty.
Oh, okay. Well, human life.
She did not run through. She didn't run through a fucking crowd of runners to get a goddamn dog. No, what that girl did, and that girl lost them much stronger people trying to escape the city, in my opinion. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I love Lindy Booth. Like I love Dawn of the Dead. I think Dawn of the Dead is a better movie than this. But it's like I just thought that this movie was really cool. A bank heist in Vegas that's completely quarantined, filled with zombies, and like zombies that are like mutating and evolving. Like there's more to it than just, the typical zombie try to kill you. It's like these zombies are starting to evolve. They're changing. They're getting smarter. And I just thought some of the characters were really interesting. One of my favorites had to be the Safecracker. And that was another movie that almost made my top 10 was Army of Thieves. I really liked that prequel movie that they gave him. Have either of you gotten a chance to see it or no?
No, I have not
No.
seen either.
I thought it was enjoyable. I was juggling Army of Thieves and Old, and I was debating which one was going to take number 10. So we'll just say Army of Thieves is at 11.
I respect all opinions, and I respect the fact that you have Army of the Dead on there. I just don't find it as good as you guys. I don't know that Dave Bautista was good. The daughter was annoying as fuck, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like if you take her out, it would be a better movie. Yeah.
Take her out, you'd barely have a movie.
Yeah, I know, but like, she was just a shit character. She really was. I'm really sorry. I that's just my opinion.
You say, you know what? I'm just gonna say it, dude. You say I'm sorry way too much.
Sorry.
And then he does it again.
No, this is my opinion.
I'm
Right?
Apologizing for your thoughts. No,
Santino, I'm the same way. I'm very non-confrontational. So
yes, 3 men, two in 2 different states and 1 in another country. I'm afraid to offend someone else. No, I just thought it was a fun movie all the way through. I thought it looked cool. I always love a good Snyder film, and I thought it was cool that it was like his first zombie movie, you know, Dawn of the Dead, was much more grounded, realistic feeling. And this one was just so much more over the top and fun feeling. So, yeah, it's like I said, I know quite a few people really liked it. A lot of people like you, Santino, it's not your cup of tea.
No, I don't know.
It's like
the character of the daughter was annoying as fuck, but I never said anything about the direction. I love Snyder's direction here. It's really well done. Like the way he directed it, really well done. The action scenes were good. I just don't like that girl. She just ruined it for me. But like it's I'm not dissing Snyder at all. It's fine. His direction was good.
yeah, his direction not being the problem for you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. It's like how do I put this? The reverse of it. Like I have no problems with John Boyega and Daisy Ridley's acting in the sequels. It's the director's fault and the writer. That's the problem.
yeah, I don't look at a movie and say the acting was good, so it gets a pass though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't say.
That's like saying everything about this movie was dog shit, but the music was really good, so it gets a pass. It's like no.
Yeah, exactly. No, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker are not good movies, but I don't blame Ridley or Boyega or Isaac for that. Yeah, but it doesn't get passed from me though. It's still a shit film.
Well,
yeah.
I can't wait for this. For
I was
this,
just
I
gonna
can't
say-
wait for the sequel. I think the sequel is going to be called like Planet of the Dead, so I'm excited for that.
Nice.
Damn.
All right.
So we'll see, but I think right now he's busy with what's that new Star Wars-esque movie he's doing, Rebel Moon?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I can't wait for that. Go Snyder, rock on. So,
Hell yeah.
Ken, number 4.
My number 4 is Last Night in Soho.
Oh,
Nice.
So, Chad, was there anything you wanted to say about this one?
Lead on.
I will say it might be a bold claim. I think this might be my favorite Anya Taylor-Joy role so far.
Split is still my favorite role she did, but this is a close second.
She is like so damn good in this, and I forget the other main actress's name. I forget.
It was, or if I could stay on the page, it was Thomasin McKenzie.
Okay, so also I gotta say this. I love Edgar Wright. I had no idea, and I think this movie is a semi-horror movie, semi.
Oh, it's a horror movie. It's like a horror mystery.
It's a horror mystery, and I had no idea going in. I was just sort of like, what the hell would an Edgar Wright horror movie even look at? Shaun of the Dead is more comedy than horror to me. I have it in my comedy section on my movie shelf. But I was just wondering, man, like a straight horror movie, like with Edgar Wright style, how would that work? And the man did not disappoint.
Nope. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and it's funny. Okay, so my mom does not like scary movies like at all. And my mom texted me one Saturday when this was out. And she's like, "Oh, let's go see a movie. What's playing right now?" And I just sent her the list. And I was hoping. I think this came out around the same time as Eternals. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, pick Eternals, pick Eternals, pick Eternals. I can probably talk her into taking us to like IMAX or something. And she randomly picks Last Night in Soho, and I'm like, okay, I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, wait, this is a horror film. Should I tell her or not?
Did you tell her?
And hell no.
Oh shit.
She was paying to go see a movie. And we actually hit the midway point, Ken. And my mom was like, I'm not liking this. I'm like,
Really?
My mom does not like ghost movies at all.
I was hoping
them.
you were going to go the other direction and say that she was pleasantly surprised and into it.
She called me the day after and told me, she's like, the more I thought about it, the more I really liked it. But like midway through, she's like, I'm not comfortable watching this. I'm like, we can go if you really. I'm like, we can go if you want to. I'm like, I'm not going to subject my mom to a movie she doesn't like.
See, I guess if you're not a horror person, I was just going to say, I don't see it as that disturbing of a movie, but if you're really not a horror person at all, I guess
she doesn't like anything to do with ghosts.
Okay.
That's actually the same experience I had with Deadpool. Like, my mom's like, I want to watch Deadpool. I'm like, okay, are you sure? It's like, yeah. So I watched Deadpool with my mom, and with all the dick jokes and the F-bombs and the sex jokes and the sex montage. I was like, this is awful. And like, and the biggest insult that an Asian mom can say, it's like, what's the educational value in this movie?
Ooh!
It's like, it's all just swear words and violence and ass and boobs and penises. Is this how you want your life, Santi? Watching movies like these? And then guess what? After that, the day after, she told me, I actually really liked it. Like, what the fuck?
That's right.
Yeah, my mom was the same with this. The day after, she was like, you know what? This was actually, she's like, I really like this. It was really cool. She's like, seeing London in the 60s like this, she's like, it was really interesting.
And it got to the point where actually when Deadpool 2 came out, I was like, all right, I'm off to watch that Deadpool 2. And I was like, well, take me with you. Like, seriously? You didn't like the first Deadpool? You're going to watch the second with me? Like, yeah. And then she watched it. And halfway through, she's like, this is garbage. This is trash. It's all these swear words. And it's worse than the first one. And then after that, she was like, actually, you know what? Give more thought. I actually like it.
That's right. No, but okay. One last thing I really want to say about Last Night in Soho. I love every character.
We've barely started. Talking about it.
Okay, well, let me talk about a few of the characters. I really love Matt Smith. He is like delightfully devilish and evil in this movie.
I wanted more of him. I really liked him, but I felt like we didn't get enough.
Yeah. And let me just say this, and I like this character, but her sort of boyfriend guy, her love interest, that dude is the definition of the word simp.
Yeah. She was insane. Like, it was the point where she was like a broken human being, and he was like still like head over heels completely in love with her. Like, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
Like, he was like focused on her from the first second he saw her, and it's like, okay, she's a cute girl, but it's like, dude, you're acting like you struck gold.
He is simping hard. Yeah.
Right. To the point where he almost got killed for it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, and I don't want to say much about this, but I guess we could call it a twist in the end, was really great.
Yes, I agree. And probably one of the, I don't remember if it was in one of the trailers or not, but when Anya Taylor-Joy was singing that song Downtown, oof, that just gave me goosebumps, because it was just so, like, Matt Smith and that other guy watching her do it was so weird feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
especially eventually what she, like, the world she eventually fell into. It was like two predators watching their prey.
Hmm. Um, what else? Oh man, like just the really creepy imagery of all those dead guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the part where my mom was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, but like I
No,
said,
and
I had no
I liked
idea.
his depiction of those spirits, ghosts also. And like that
Yeah,
end when they were like bursting through the walls of the room.
yes. Like I said, I had no idea how Edgar Wright would do a horror movie. Did not disappoint. I'm just like, this is so what he would do, and it works so well.
Agreed. Santino, you really need to find this online somewhere or something and
Hey,
watch it because I know you'll love it.
Can I be real with you? I bought the DVD. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Oh, jump
You
on it.
monster.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a good
Watch
blind
it.
buy. Good blind buy though.
Very good.
I
No,
will.
you'll like it.
And I will say, I'm excited for Anya Taylor-Joy. Did you know that they are making another remake of Nosferatu, and she is set to star in it, and it's going to be directed by his name's on the tip of my tongue. The Lighthouse.
Oh, Robert Eggers.
Yes, him.
Nice.
You know what? If someone was going to do it, I'd say he's the man for it because
I would say
that's...
either him or Ari Aster. I know you're not a big fan of Aster.
No,
Chad.
I don't want Aster anywhere near a Nosferatu remake.
What?
Because I don't think he's got the right type of touch for something like that.
Yeah, and if you
like
yeah,
like
and
the stuff Aster did is a different type of horror than I would want out of like a Nosferatu.
And come on, Midsommar sucked balls. Let's be real.
Oh, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as Hereditary, but
Ken wasn't on the podcast we did last year where we trashed it for like half an hour. We were on a podcast last year with Geekdom Movies, and it was Santino and I and the three hosts of that show, and Shannon was one of the hosts of Geekdom Movies, and she was the only one who liked it, and everyone else was just trashing it.
Well, Chad, you're not a fan of his filmography at all, and Santino, I think you said like you respect Hereditary, but sort of like me, you never want to watch it again.
I will never watch the movie again. It's too scary.
Yep.
I will. That fucked me over. I could not sleep for like.
I'm with him, Chad. I can't go near it.
What is scary about it?
I hate
a little girl's severed head with, and also just the.
Can we not talk about the movie, please. Can we not? It's bringing back.
Why? It's morning for you. Don't be afraid.
No. I don't like talking about it. Period. I really don't.
Please. I'll respect it, man. I get it.
Please. I will never watch a movie ever again. It took me a long time to like.
I'll put it this way: I can respect Hereditary because I know it made it did a lot for a lot of people. But Midsommar, no. Midsommar was stupid. It was a lame. It was just dumb. Midsommar was dumb. Like it was just a bad remake of Wicker Man.
Heard a lot of people say that, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Even the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man was better than Midsommar. And I'm sorry, the girl had no reason to. Sorry, I don't care what anyone says. He dressed up as a bear and punched a woman in the face. Show me another movie where somebody else does that.
Well, hold on. I want to say this. So me and my buddy Matt and our friend Kyle, we went to go see Midsommar, and Kyle actually said something pretty funny because with the ending of Midsommar, with the character Christian just being inside the gutted bear and just put into that hut that's lit on fire, my friend said, I bet that guy was just sitting there like, I never thought I would die this way. Didn't see this one coming.
I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. She was not justified in celebrating killing her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree.
I don't get that's the part.
Yeah, he was a shitty. He was shitty, and he was gaslighting her a whole bunch. But it's like
he didn't even want her to go when they were first going to this place.
Right.
It's like I understand, like he's kind of a prick, but it's like he's not a monster. Where it's like he was like banging her mom behind her back or something.
Yep.
Anyways,
Anyways, we are really
yeah,
off track. Anything else you want to say about Last Night in Soho?
yeah. Last Night in Soho is way better than Midsummer. Um,
I agree.
no, Last Night in Soho is great. I thought I thought it looked great. I like the music choices. Both of the girls were incredible in their roles. I genuinely thought, what's her face, Thomasin McKenzie, dude, she sold it so well on somebody who was losing their mind.
Yeah,
Yep.
She, oh, it was amazing watching her go from like this quiet, introverted little girl to like someone who like started modeling herself after completely, you know, how Sandy completely dressed, act, and then just start just breaking down. She did an incredible job.
All right, so I guess it's my turn, right?
Go for it.
Number 4.
All right. My number 4 is another mouthful. It's Fate, Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, Spring Song. That is a mouthful. I know. But it's on a different timeline of the Fate series, and I just have to say, I mean, I don't know how many times I can say this. The animation's really good. The story's really good. The characters are awesome. It's really well done. It's a really nice story, but you really have to watch the anime series to get Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel Spring Song. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Please watch it if you can, but like I know it's gonna you're gonna have a hard time.
Okay. Well, Well, what's the basic plot to that one?
The basic plot is basically the Holy Grail has been corrupted and it's corrupting the servants, and so this the main character, his name is, what's his name again? Wow, what's his name? I remember. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Emiya Shiru. Yeah, Emiya Shiru. He has to find out what's corrupting the servants that are finding the Holy Grail, and it's an amazing movie. But the Fate trilogy of Heaven's Feel, you can't watch on your own. You have to watch the prequel first to get Fate, Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, Spring Song. Just trust me, you'll like it. Honestly, if you have time, watch it.
Alrighty then.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Chad, you're
Solid.
number 3.
Number 3 is The Night House.
You were telling me about this before.
What is this? Can you explain to me? You've always said it's really good, but what is it about?
So it's about this woman who was married to a guy, and they're rich. They live on a lake, and one day he just took their boat, rowed it out to the middle of the lake, and he killed himself. And she is obviously grieving, and she's a massive drinker, and she just kind of turns into like a very negative person, and all she wants to do is drink, basically. But she also potentially has a history of kind of like psychosis. So stuff starts happening around this giant house that she lives in, now alone. But like I said, is it psychosis? Is it grief? Or is it actual paranormal? Or is she seeing things because she's actually drunk? Then she starts finding out this horrific side life that her husband was basically living, where he was meeting up with women who looked kind of like her. He was taking them to this house that he built on the opposite side of the lake, that he'd basically taken the blueprints of the house that they lived in that he'd built, and he built that house, but an opposite version of it, like a mirror version of it. He would take these women to that house and he would kill them.
Oh, shit.
And that's as far as I'm going to go. aside from just
that went in a different direction than I thought it was.
Yep. And so basically, it's like paranormal stuff is happening. And Ken, kind of like I was explaining to you, unlike something like, Paranormal Activity or Poltergeist, we're not watching this for these paranormal things happening to scare us. We're kind of watching them to see what her reaction to them happening is and how what's happening is affecting her mentally. And like I said, it's a big toss-up of how much of this is real, how much is not, because one of the things I love that the director threw in was she's drinking in almost every scene of this film. So it's like, is she drunk while most of this is happening? Is she grieving and seeing things that aren't there? Or is it actual paranormal stuff that's happening? I loved it because it's such a, it makes you think so much while you're watching it of what's real, what's paranormal, what's in her mind. I absolutely loved this movie. And up until one of my spot 1 or 2 came out, this was my number 2 of the year.
Cool. That sounds like a horror movie I would love, because I love the subtleties of making you question, what's really ghostly and what's really just madness.
Yep, and it's Rebecca Hall, I believe is her name, who's the lead. And Ken, I think you used the perfect phrase. This is a one-woman show. She is alone a lot in this movie. So it was up to her to completely sell this film to us. And I thought she did an incredible job.
Cool. I'm adding that one to my list right now then. So far, the list from y'all's, from your recommendations here, so far I've got, like, the ones that are, like, must-watches for me: Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, Antlers, and now The Night House.
Nice.
Sweet.
Ken, bronze medal.
Bronze medal. My number 3 is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Oh, now we're going to talk about it.
Nice.
Yes, we can.
All right. So, I love The Suicide Squad. I really do. I just had I had to edge out for Eternals. But I love it. From the opening scene of Pete Davidson's head getting blown off.
Which is just a great thing to happen, isn't it?
And having and everyone getting gunned down and get that song that all my friends are dead. All my friends are dead, and they're like dead bodies. And Captain Boomerang getting like chopped up in half with the helicopter blade. Like, oh, there he goes.
At the very beginning of this movie, I was saying, like, wow, what an interesting and colorful cast of characters. I can't wait to see how they all play off of each other.
And then,
oh no.
Oh, there they go.
No, but of our main squad, I mean, let me ask you guys, who's your favorite member of the main squad in this movie?
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Peacemaker!
Harley Quinn, hands down. Harley Quinn.
Okay, Harley Quinn, obviously great. Peacemaker, great. I gotta give it to her. Ratcatcher 2, I really love.
Ooh, yeah. Ratcatcher. Awesome.
And I just rewatched this 2 nights ago, because originally this wasn't in my top 10, but then when I rewatched it, I forgot how funny this movie was.
Oh my goodness!
I love Polka Dot Man and his mom. Like,
yes.
I love when he sees Starro as his mom, just this giant fat lady crashing a building down.
You know what
For me,
it's
your mom. That moment when Idris Elba says, "It's your mom," and also I gotta say, one of my favorite. I'm noticing this is a trope for James Gunn. He likes putting really big name actors in the role of voicing a big giant monster that doesn't have much dialogue.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is King Shark. I know that's it.
Yes. And my soft spot for Stallone. So. Yeah.
And he did an amazing job as Anawe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nom nom. No.
Monster Num Num.
I think my favorite scene in the entire movie, is when Bloodsport and Peacemaker have that dick measuring competition on how many kill,
Oh my
and they're
god.
all dying in brutal ways. Like the best kill, in my opinion, is from Peacemaker, where he just chops up that guy like a fucking pork.
Stabs him repeatedly.
Yeah, it's like cha.
And then
I just love when I forget, was it Bloodsport who accidentally shot the dude in the cock?
Yeah,
think so. But then just that moment when the lady's just like, "Hey, where's my whole team?" And they're all just like, "Oh."
Why didn't my team alert me that you were here?
They're like,
Oh,
Oh, what team? That
and
was
you know Waller
awesome.
set that up. You know Waller set that up to happen.
It was like a comedic version. I mean, obviously it wasn't as good, but it was like a much more comedic version of the assault on the camp in Predator.
Yeah. It's
But no, I just like I know, and it's funny because what cracks me up about this movie is I know so many people who hate this film. I've seen plenty of people who put out top 10 lists this year who have this on it and very high up.
oh yeah. I mean, it's
I
my number
don't-
3.
No, on their worst list.
Oh, what?
Yeah. This movie is hated by a lot of
What?
people. Santino, you and I both know a lot of people who hate this movie.
okay.
It's
Well-
like, and some of the I mean, I guess the legit complaints I will give people is the people who don't like the humor. Like, if you hate this movie because of the humor, there's nothing I can do about that. You know, humor is obviously subjective.
Objective, yeah.
But the complaints I've heard complaints like, oh, they killed off Boomerang and Rick Flag. It's like, yeah, they're on a team called the Suicide Squad. People get killed
You need
in
to
it.
be
It's
prepared.
a rotating roster. If people didn't die, why would it be called the Suicide Squad? They're
Mhm.
villains, and they're villains. Why are we supposed to root for them anyways? Even though Amanda Waller's worse than any of them.
Ugh. Oh, and I'll tell you that moment when she's yelling at them to turn back around, and then her team just knocks her out. Let me just say, if you're the person who knocked out Amanda Waller, you better watch your back now.
You better run because your life's gonna be over as soon as she comes to.
Yeah.
No, I think this movie's hilarious. I've always thought ever since Ever since I saw the movie Blockers, which if you guys haven't seen that, you should. It's actually really funny. I think John Cena is hilarious. I think that guy knows how to do comedy. He does it so perfectly, playing like the big hulking muscle and like just playing it dead serious. He just always makes me laugh. I don't know what it is. Like that scene when Bloodsport is like, I hate rats. I hate them. Keep them away from me. And Cena's just
underwear.
standing there. It is whitey tighties laughing at him. And he's like, what the fuck are you laughing at me for? Why the hell are you in your underwear? Whitey tighties? Really? Okay, now that's racist. It's like,
Man, then Chad, you should probably watch the Peacemaker show at some point.
I'm going to now that I've rewatched.
I want to get on that soon.
I'm gonna watch it. I've heard so many people who liked TSS say that it's really good. And if he's as good in that as he was in this, and they don't like completely like kind of do what they did with Alan in The Hangover and Hangover 2 and just be like, oh, people liked him being dumb, so just make him dumber. As long as they know how to like evenly balance it out for the Peacemaker show, I'm positive I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Anything else on the Suicide Squad?
Fun movie.
Fun movie.
Lots of fun.
Absolutely.
And I actually feel bad for Gunn that this movie made like nothing. I feel like it came out and it was forgotten about a week later.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but it was when we were just opening back up, and like, movie theaters. Plus, it was also on HBO Max, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I made a point to see it in theaters. That was my very first trip
so
back to
did
the
I.
movie theater. That was my very first trip back to the movie theater since seeing The Invisible Man in 2020.
Hey, you went out on a high note. You came back in on a high
Yep,
note.
that's right. All right, if nothing else, Santino, your bronze medal?
My bronze medal goes to Violet Evergarden, the movie. Now, again, I probably need to explain this properly. So, Violet Evergarden, the movie, is again based off of an anime where it's a Netflix exclusive. Where I'm sure you guys have it on Netflix there because it's a Netflix exclusive, and the story is it's about this girl who suffers major post-traumatic stress disorder from the war. And throughout the anime is only like 12 episodes, 13 episodes long. Throughout the anime, she finds recovery through writing letters for other people. So she writes these letters, and she learns about humans and human emotion, and it's a very touching story. And Violet Evergarden in the movie it's her final mission, her final job in writing letters. And I swear, Ken, if you watch this movie, you'll cry. You'll really cry with Kelsey.
I'm a crier.
Yeah, no, you'll cry first in the anime, and then you'll cry in the movie because it's a really well done movie. I swear on my life, you will love this. You like drama, you like really well done stories about people, like Rocky, right? Like Rocky's a story about humans and how they can overcome their limits. This is a story about a girl trying to find her humanity again after war, and it's amazing. It's an amazing story. I've watched.
Sounds great.
I've watched this movie twice. But you need to watch the anime first to get it. The anime is only 13 episodes long, and it can take you 2 weeks. Like my recommendation is watch one episode per night, and then watch the movie. I recommend you watch it in sub, not dub, because sub's way better, with the Japanese voices. But oh my God, Ken, you'll love it. You'll love this movie, I swear.
All right, sounds good. I'll add that to the must-watch list then.
Add it to the must-watch list because Violet Evergarden anime and the movie. Yeah. So yeah, all I can say is really well done story. Again, animation is on point. This is the most beautiful film, one of the most beautiful films I've seen this year. And again, you just have to watch it for yourself for you to really understand because it's an amazing film.
Sweet.
All right. So
now 4 must-watches.
Yeah. So number 2, Chad, your silver medal.
The Snyder Cut.
What the fuck? No. Fuck off. No way.
Well, we can go ahead and talk about that because that's my number 2 also.
What? No, wait.
Nice.
Wait, Chad, your number 2 is the Snyder Cut?
Yes.
I feel like a basic bitch because my top 3 are all superhero movies.
No, wait. On. Chad, you've loved the Snyder Cut to death, and it's your number 2?
Yes.
Let's find out why.
Perfect. It's not perfect. The number 1 movie is perfect.
Oh my God. Wait.
We all know what the number 1 is, but we'll say it when we say it.
Okay, let's talk about it anyway, since I want to talk about Snyder Cut too, so this is the perfect time.
All right. Let's go for it.
The Snyder Cut is
amazing.
Okay, so I'll put it this way. If the Snyder Cut came out this year and it was what we were always supposed to get, how to put it? One, we would not have gotten the 4-hour cut if this is what we were originally supposed to get. The 4-hour cut is, like the Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings, the extended cut, where it's like, I think the only issue I really have with the Snyder Cut, and I'm sure there's Snyder purists out there who are going to hate me for saying it, while I do like this 4-hour cut, I love this 4-hour cut. It's my number 2. But I'm sorry, it's hard to sit down and watch a 4-hour film. I do, there is some fat in this film. that I do wish they could have trimmed out. I don't know what, but same as like say because we know what a 4-hour movie is never going to go to theaters. It never would.
No, and also,
So I almost want to see
me,
what I almost want to see what a theatrical cut of the Snyder Cut could have been, and then give us an option to watch both. Again, kind of like Lord of the Rings with like Return of the King, because you guys know it as well as I do. If you want to watch the extended Return of the King, you're either dedicating half a day or it's going to take you 2 or 3 nights.
yeah.
Am I wrong with that?
Right.
No. Now let me chime in and like just say, and the fact, and we're railing into it, even though we clearly love this movie. It's our second favorite of the year, but the fact that it needed that 4 hours, whereas the number one only needed like less than 2.
I think the number one was 2 hours, wasn't it?
2 hours, yeah, it's about 2 hours. But if it needed 2 hours, that just sort of goes to show that's telling their story a lot better. Now, yes,
I mean, the Snyder Cut was an epic tale. I wouldn't say number one is as epic as the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut
Agreed.
is a whole new level of a team coming together to save the planet.
Right.
Yes, but I don't know. Do we want to talk about all of our positives for the Snyder Cut?
Yeah. Really.
Is there any negatives? Does anyone wants to get out? Let's get the negatives out of the way first.
For me, the
I've
only
already given mine. It's long, and the fact that it needs that length is a detriment. It makes me knock points from it as compared to other movies on the list.
I don't mind
Right, because like I said, I can't just sit down and watch. At my age and the activities I like doing in my life, I cannot, like, in good faith, be like, yes, I did it once where I sat down from beginning to end without stopping. I can't do that again. It's too long. 4 hours, like I said, that's like half a day.
That's
right.
It's a lot.
That's too Joss.
And I'm glad it's not 2 movies, because dividing this into 2 movies would have been really stupid. Because
I think that was the initial plan. Because wasn't that the initial plan? There was going to be Justice League Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, but that was back when things were different. Because let's just take this movie. Where would the first half have ended? There's no big there's no big hook anywhere in the middle to grab you and be like, bet you can't wait to come back for part 2. It just wasn't there because he was allowed to do the 4-hour cut. But that's because there were so many scenes of stuff that, dare I say, didn't need. And when I say didn't need to be there, I mean that in the sense of, again, comparing it to the Lord of the Rings extended cuts, they're there to enhance the film, but they can be taken out, and it does not affect it doesn't make the film worse. I would like to see that cut just to see what a 3-hour version would have been.
I think my main sorry.
But with the way it is, like I said, now that I've seen it from beginning to end, I can't pick those scenes that I would look at and be like, take that out, because everything lines up. But yeah, when it comes to negatives about the story itself, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have anything.
I mean,
at all.
For me, the only negative would be, I'm sorry for screaming a while ago, because I'm just really shocked that the Snyder Cut is number 2. Because legit, because Chad told me I think November, nothing will beat the Snyder Cut. And now that it has been placed at number 2, I know there's only one movie that beat the Snyder Cut, and we'll talk about it later.
Anyone who's listening to us already knows what our number ones are.
I think we'll all have the same number 1, won't we? Unless Santino surprises us.
Which he's changing his list right now.
No.
Well, hold on. Snyder Cut. I'm glad they got rid of all the little justice lines, the little forced bits of humor there.
I guess my main gripe
oh my god
is, and why I put it at number 6, is that they advertised Nightmare way too much, to the point where I think Chad and I were overhyped. It's not our fault, but
no, that was the trailer's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now when I was younger, I used to get angry at movies for the trailers selling me on something. I just point a finger now at the studio and say that's your fault for hyping something up that wasn't supposed to be there. But at the same time, it's almost like I appreciate the hook that Snyder put that there, because it was almost like if he was fully in charge, maybe it would not have been marketed as much. But the fact that maybe he did push for it because he wanted it to be as big as possible to get people to campaign to bring him back. Because I know a lot of people are like, I want more. I want what comes next. Darkseid said, ready the Armada. We're heading to Earth. We saw Nightmare. People want it.
Yeah, and two things I gotta say. First of all, my favorite part of the Snyder Cut, I'm surprised it goes to Flash. When he has that moment, he's just like, you gotta do something big, you gotta do it now, Barry.
He went from one of the worst characters to it's like
Cyborg
and Flash went from two of the worst characters to like the two best characters in the film.
Yeah. I think one of our friends, like,
whoever would have thought Cyborg would have been one of the best characters of Justice League.
I never thought so. I never thought so, honestly.
Yeah. And also, here's something Matt and I have talked about. For like, okay, if either of you have ever watched the Justice League cartoon show, could you imagine a live action? Okay, there's a moment where Superman is fighting Darkseid, and he says, how's he put it? Sorry. He
Well, yeah, he talked. Yeah, I know that part. Like.
Yeah, and he talks about how he feels like he's in the world of cardboard. I have to be so careful, but you can handle it, can't you, big man? And he says, "We have a rare opportunity here for you to see just how powerful I really am."
Yeah, I know that part. Yeah.
And could you imagine a real life version of that with Cavill?
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
It could still happen.
No, for me, like I love what I really respect and what I love most about Snyder Cut, and I talked about this in our original review. Snyder got his chance to shine. He was short-staffed from the beginning. And I know our number ones are not the Snyder Cut, but I think in terms of fan reception, in terms of fans just coming together and begging Warner Brothers, give him his film, give him his chance to show the world what he really wanted to do, this takes the cake. Because really, the fan movement behind the Snyder Cut is something amazing. It is amazing. It is, I love the fact that it's so pure. It's a pure thing to just, give this guy his chance to release his film, which I really appreciate. I really appreciate.
And it was another movie, kind of like our number ones. There was no agenda pushing in this film. It was an epic film of a team coming together, bringing Superman back to life to save the planet, thinking Superman was going to be the key, and then Flash was the one who saved everyone. And I don't care what anyone says. Flash time traveling is one of the most epic things in any superhero movie.
Oh, yeah.
That is, the music, the visuals, everything about that sequence was incredible. Ken, like you said, what Barry said, you got to break the rule, Barry, and you got to do it now. And it's just like the music and watching that, and then
at the speed of force,
watching Cyborg dive into the mother boxes and being tempted to not break it apart. Just, everything was great. Everything.
I think
Absolutely.
also, I showed this to my mom. Like she loves Wonder Woman, so I showed Justice League to my mom. She's never seen Justice League. She's only seen Zack Snyder's Justice League. She's never seen Justice League.
God bless her for it.
And I will never show that to her ever in my life. I will never show it to her. But when Flash time traveled, my mom was like, "Wow, that is amazing." He's better. Like my mom, I remember the reaction. My mom pointed at the screen and looked at me and like, "He's better than Superman." I was like, "Okay."
In that instance, yes, he was.
God, for Flash, how did we go from his catchphrase, his like most infamous line, Dorcheski, or whatever the hell he said to the little Ukrainian girl.
Dostoevsky.
Or whatever the hell he said. And then, okay, I don't want to butcher it. What was the exact lines he said it right when he was almost done? He's like,
Make your own future, make your own past. It's all right now.
Incredible. I would have given anything to see this in IMAX. Anything to see this in theaters.
Absolutely.
Like, I literally, like, I heard there were stories of theaters that were doing, like, charity runs where it was, like, $40 a ticket. I would have paid it. I would have paid $40 for a charity ticket to go see this movie in an IMAX theater.
Yeah.
So 100%.
Those are both your number twos?
Yep. So that's my number two also. So we got right through it.
Nice.
So what's yours? Oh, and last thing, Steppenwolf's redesign.
Was awesome, yeah.
Leagues above.
And as much as I just want to say something. As much as I love Flash time traveling, I really love the redone Superman scene where he comes back and it's the Man of Steel theme. And he's like, dun, 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 dun.
Dude, that remake of the Man of Steel theme while he was fighting Steppenwolf was incredible. I love listening to that music like when I'm working out. It's so like peaceful yet like empowering feeling at the exact same time.
And dude, if Cavill comes back, please let him keep the black suit. The black suit is so sexy. It is so sexy. It is.
I don't want to have it all the time.
Well, he was back to the blue suit. Don't forget when he was possessed.
Yeah. But...
And oh my God, how did we not bring it up? Darkseid. Darkseid looked and sounded perfect.
Perfect. Yep.
At the very end, and even when we saw him as Uxas back during the that ancient war, we need more of that ancient war. By the way, we need a whole movie with the ancient gods and the ancient Atlanteans.
I want the ancient war.
Yes, and
And the Green Lanterns. And don't forget Martian Manhunter at the end of the movie,
who
looked amazing, by the way.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, Snyder Cut. It's amazing film. It's one of my, it's my favorite of the DCEU. It's just, and it was my number one for the longest time. And it's just, it's hard to pick. Like I said, the only reason this is number two and not number one is because, to me, number one is absolutely perfect. I have absolutely no issues with it. And I can sit down and watch my number one without blowing half a day.
Yep. All right. Santino, you're number two.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Yep. I know.
Should we save it or do it now? No, we'll save it.
No.
I mean, we'll save it. I mean, we all know it's coming.
Yep.
All right. So what's your number one, Chad and Ken?
Well,
No Way Home.
Mine was that Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer movie. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, well, then you know what? We'll let you go first. Tell us why Thunder Force was amazing.
I couldn't even remember the title of that movie. No, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's my number one.
Absolutely.
Santino, what's your number one?
I will say it after. Don't worry. But my number one's a long-ass explanation as to why it's my number one. All right.
Okay. We just did, like, I think a week ago, our hour-long review of this came out, so
yeah, just go listen to that.
Fast.
Go listen to that. I'll just say my reason this is my number one is it obviously plays on our nostalgia. You know, hey, you get to see Toby, you get to see Andrew, you get to see all the Spider-Men come together. But they did it in an absolutely perfect way. And
they perfectly encapsulated giving us that nostalgia, but also building upon the new world.
Yeah, and it didn't just go, look at this nostalgia. It continued everyone's stories. There was not a single character that was like shit on. Like, oh, you're the old guard, you know, like I'm only going to make this comparison, and I know we bring it up a lot. It treated nostalgia with respect, whereas the Star Wars sequels treated, the old characters like they were trash. This didn't shit on anybody. This movie treated the villains and the old heroes all with respect. And it continued everybody's story. Yeah, not everything ends on a happy note. Like, if we get a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4, which I hope we do, who knows? They might continue on with like that when Toby got stabbed by Green Goblin at the end.
Well,
there could be repercussions from that. I thought he was gonna die the first time I was watching in theaters. I was like, they just killed him off, and it was like, again, we'll just compare, Luke to Tobey Maguire. I was like, that would have been fitting. His very first supervillain in his last seconds killed off his Spider-Man. I would have had respect for it. I'm glad he didn't die because I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
I want a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
But if that had been the end of Toby, I would have been like, he went out on a very noble note. He sacrificed his life so Tom Holland's Spider-Man didn't get corrupted by murder.
And let's not forget Andrew Garfield's redemption by saving MJ.
Yep.
And
of course.
Amazing.
Even though he's not my favorite Spider-Man, that is my favorite moment of this movie.
And redeeming himself over Gwen's death, him learning, because remember in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he shot the web first before catching the bar, and that's what caused Gwen to die. In this one, he dives first and gets her before he shoots the web. Oh, that's how you know that this guy is like better. And dude, that my favorite moment in this entire movie is, of course, number one, Toby blocking the glider. But my favorite moment tied to it is when they're all talking, the three of them, and Andrew Garfield says, "I got rageful, I got bitter. I just don't want you to end up like me." I was like, oh my God, wow! Legacy characters talking to a younger version, and this younger version learning from them? Wow! Where was this?
That scene on the roof showed off just the amazing acting. Like, I don't want to... Toby's line of dialogue discussing how he went down that path when his Uncle Ben died was good, but I don't think it really showed off his acting chops. But for Tom and Andrew, I thought that rooftop scene massively showed off the incredible acting chops those boys have.
Agreed.
And all honesty, also, if I'm going to be really honest here, I really think that I love the theme of this movie. It's, you cannot have everything you ever want. The world will always make you choose. That's what Goblin said.
And they took everything from him.
They took everything from Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man lost everything. And guess what? He still put on the suit. Anyone who says Tom is Iron Boy Jr., fuck off. Honestly, fuck off. He's not.
Homecoming played with the idea in the first half, massively got away from it in the second half. Then Far From Home hit and tried to get even further away from it while still alluding to it. Then ended with him using Stark Tech, so it still played with the Iron Boy Jr. shit. And then this movie, literally, that's another thing I loved about this movie. This movie didn't play with Iron Boy Jr. at all. I mean, he was cut off from the Avengers the entire movie.
They didn't even mention Iron Man.
Exactly. This movie didn't, aside from Doctor Strange, this movie didn't mention, like, anything with the rest of the MCU, really.
Yeah. I think Tony's mentioned once at the very end where Happy talks about a friend he lost.
It's just a passive,
Yeah, but he's never verbally mentioned even. Nah, but when he's swinging at the very end of that suit and he's like a Spider-Man reborn, like he's on his own, like MJ and Ned are gone. And May is gone, Happy has forgotten him. He's on his own, and he's still Spider-Man. Perfect ending.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's why it's Chad and I number one, at least.
I have, like I said, I have no problems with this movie. None.
No complaints.
There's no. When I remember, and I saw it twice. The first time, obviously, I was, oh my god, this is amazing. And then the second time was like, all right, now actually, watch it, look for issues if there are any, and no, yeah, none. Same thing, none. I watched it. I'm like, I have no problems with this. I've actually seen people like diving into it and be like, oh, I wish there'd been a different way Andrew and Toby would have showed up. And I'm like, oh, shut up. Like, who cares? What would you really have wanted?
One idiot on YouTube saying, oh, the story was so good, but it wasn't shot like a Raimi film, so I don't like it. Like, what?
See, that's just somebody making up. That's not even a complaint. That's somebody just making up an excuse to be like, I want people to come watch my channel. I'm going to be controversial for the sake of it.
Yep.
Not shot like a Raimi movie, so that's a point against it. It wasn't shot like a Raimi movie because it wasn't filmed by Raimi.
Yep. It also wasn't shot like a web movie.
That's not even an actual complaint.
Nah. All right.
So,
Santino, gold medal.
Gold medal goes to Fast and Furious 9. I'm just kidding.
Yuck.
I'm just kidding. Of course not. No. Gold medal goes.
I didn't even know you. Did you even see that or no?
No, I didn't even see it.
Wait, no, yeah, you did because we did the
retrospective.
retrospective.
I saw a pirated version of it.
You still saw it.
Yeah. No, okay. And honestly, like, I love No Way Home. I love it. I love it to death. You know me. I'm a Marvel fan. I love No Way Home. I love No Way Home to death. I love everything about No Way Home. But there was one movie that took the cake. That was way better. Not way better, but just I watched this in December during my Christmas break, and I haven't still stopped thinking about it until right after. And it is Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time. Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time. Okay, I have to explain this to you in a way that you will I have to pitch this to you in a way that you should watch it. Okay, so Evangelion was an original 1990s anime way back in 1990s. I wasn't even born then. But the story there is the creator Hideki Anno, that's his name, Hideki Anno, made Evangelion, and right as he was about to finish, because it's just one season, right as he was about to finish, he got into this depression episode, like a mental health depression where he wanted to kill himself. So he stepped away from it, and he wrote, and during his depression, he wrote an ending for the series, which the studio, respecting the author, followed. That ending was released, and everyone across the world said, this is the worst ending ever. Fuck you. You're a hack. Go kill yourself. They bullied this guy. So this guy came back with a film called The End of Evangelion, which was a retaliation to the fans' response, where he basically killed off everyone, and it was like saying, oh, like you really want a proper ending? Here's the ending, and just made fans' response worse. So he stepped away from the project, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna do things properly this time. I'm gonna do things properly. I'm gonna make it through movies. So he released Evangelion 1.0, I believe, 2006, Evangelion 2.0, 2008, and Evangelion 3.0, 2009. And then he got into another depressive episode, and he was like, I'm so sorry. He released 1.0, 2007, 2.0, 2009, and 3.0, 2012. And then he took a break because he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm having this depression, suicidal thoughts again. Please give me time to, recalibrate and give me time to write a proper ending to this story. And it took him 9 years. So Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time released this year. It's the final Evangelion movie. And I watched it. And oh my God, it is a perfect conclusion to the story. You know me, I'm a sucker for great conclusions. Return of the King, Return of the Jedi, Endgame. This is Deathly Hallows Part 2. This is a proper conclusion. And Chad, I have to say this, you have to watch it. You don't need to watch the anime series. All 4 of these movies are on Amazon Prime. So you can watch it. And it's all really good. The themes about father and son, the themes about religion, the themes about coming out of your depressive state and fighting for a better tomorrow. It's all here. And as much as I love No Way Home, I really do. I cannot think of a more perfect film than Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time. It is really that good, where I just think this has to take gold medal. This really has to take gold medal. That's why. That's why. Because it's about a guy who finally gave a proper ending to his story amidst all the fan backlash. He finally got his proper, like, you know, his proper way to end these stories on a good note. And to me, an artist's passion to really tread on, and even took so long, he finally did it. He finally gave a proper ending. It's perfect.
Well, my God, I don't think there's anything left to say.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I mean, and it has the best ending song ever. It's in Japanese, but I'll send it to you guys. It's such a beautiful song. I swear, you guys have to watch it. You have to watch. I cannot recommend this enough.
I just gotta say hats. I just have to say hats off to you for like really selling it there, and just talking about how much like the creator's story means to you. Just
because he really wanted to kill himself after the fan backlash, and it was the studio saying, "Hey, no, you can redo it. We'll give you the money. We'll give you the funds. Just redo it properly, and I don't care how long it takes you. Just finish it on your terms. Finish it on your terms." And he did it. He finished it on his terms this year, and you don't need to watch the anime to get it. You just need to watch the movies. Evangelion 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and the final one, Thrice Upon a Time, are all on Amazon Prime. You can watch it there. And it is really such an experience. I cannot stress this enough on how good it is. It really is. So yeah, that's why I say number one.
Well,
I love
awesome.
Going Home to Death, but I feel like Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time has to take the cake on what a number one 2021 movie should be. So yeah, that's it.
Well,
That's it from me.
fantastic.
Do you guys have anything to say about that? Or Chad can?
I know you said we don't need to watch the anime, but sorry, like I kind of do. When it comes to watching, like, you know, especially like that, a finale movie, it's like, no, I kind of need a little bit of background.
No.
So I would need to watch it.
In Evangelion 1.0, it goes back to the beginning. So like you don't need to rewatch the anime to get the story of Evangelion. You just need to watch the first.
Right, but wouldn't I want to?
Oh yeah, if you want to, dude, I'm not stopping you. Please watch it because it's really great. It's really
No. I said, wouldn't I want to? Before I watch the ending, wouldn't I want to watch everything that came before first?
Yeah.
So I can
I think-
fully appreciate what an actual
yeah.
finale to all of this
I think
is.
Yeah.
I think what Santino, I think what you're saying is like, hey, if you're not going to watch the entire series, then yeah, please watch the movie. But hey, if you're gonna watch the series, then yeah, that's definitely the right move.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I'm just saying, if you don't have the time, because I know you guys are way more busy than I am. If you don't have the time to watch the series, the best way to do it is watch all the movies. But if you want to watch the series, by all means, please watch the series. Watch the series first. It's 26 episodes. Then watch End of Evangelion, because it's basically 3 endings. The ending to the series, the ending to the End of Evangelion movie, and then the remake movies where and that's where Thrice Upon a Time is. Thrice Upon a Time ends everything, and it came out this year, and I just like, wow, it's such an experience. I want, if this comes into theaters, I don't care. I have to pay like $50 for it. I will watch it in theaters. It really is an amazing film. Seriously.
No, I'm just laughing because it's like $50. Wow. I didn't even pay that much when I didn't even pay that much back in 2012 when they did the my local theater did a thing where they played all of Phase 1 on the day that the first Avengers released. Yeah, they only charged us $40, and that was from like 10 in the morning until like 2 or 3 in the morning when Avengers finished, because it was like They did Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and then Captain America. And then Avengers started at midnight. And it was like, for all 6 of those, that was only 40. So it's like 50 for one movie? Wow.
No, I'm just really exaggerating. But like Chad, Ken, I think Ken, you and Kelsey love sci-fi. I know that. You will really love this. Even if you don't watch the anime, just watch the movies, 1.0 to Thrice Upon a Time. You'll appreciate it. But if you want to really fully appreciate the whole Evangelion experience from the beginning, then yeah, watch the anime first.
But watch Your Name first.
Or yeah, watch Your Name first though. But yeah, put it on your list. Put it on your
Yes.
list to watch, man. Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time. It is the best movie of 21 for me. It gets the gold medal.
Fantastic. Well, Santino, above all else, your passion for this wins my applause, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. It's really good. You have to see it. Like I hope I pitched it to you properly. Yeah. There you go. Those are my top 10.
So, are we ready for part 2 of this show where we talk the top 10 we're most excited for in 2022?
Yes.
I'm
Well,
kidding. I don't know. Say, I got to get my list. I was excited. I was like pitching that for both of you to be like, wait, I thought we were done.
yeah, it's getting late here, and I'm gonna have to be getting off here pretty soon.
All
No,
right.
we'll maybe we can do that at another point, but
Another time, yeah.
and it's the funny thing about that though, I was looking over this year. There's really not a lot I'm looking forward to this year. Like, I think Mission Impossible 7 was one of my top, but that got pushed out, didn't it, Santino?
Yeah, I got pushed out again, which sucks balls. I really wanted that one.
Hey, if McQuarrie is working on it and he'd rather get it right than get it wrong and rush it out, take as long as you want.
Macquarie is working on it. Macquarie is working on it.
Exactly, especially after Fallout, which is going to be, like we talked about, that's going to be a hard one to top. If he thinks he can top it, take as long as you need, my friend.
Right.
But no, it's just, yeah, there's, maybe we can do just like a short video on that at some point, but it's like, just thinking about the movies coming out this year, there's not a lot I'm like that, like, hyped for. I prefer the stuff like The Night House or Antlers, stuff that wouldn't have been on my, like, top 10 most excited list that take me by surprise and wind up being in my top ones. Because it's like, I see so many lists, like, nowadays from people who it's like, their top 10 movies they're most excited for are, like, all comic book movies. And it's like...
Right. No surprises.
Right. And it's like, I get that they're, like, the popular thing, but it's like, oh, like, that's it? That's all you're excited for?
But that's why I'm so glad. Like, as much as I love No Way Home, the fact that my number one is not, and it's a movie that really means a lot to me. From a guy who wants to be a writer and an artist, in an artist perspective, it really is like the best one for me. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
There you go.
So I guess it ends it. Right.
That's it. No,
yes,
that's
appreciate
it.
you guys having me on yet again.
Absolutely. It's good having you back. It always is.
So I guess.
So that wraps it up.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, listening to our top 10 of 2021. What were yours? Let us know below. I always like hearing people's different lists. What did you think of some of our choices? Were we way off track? Did you hear stuff on our list where they wound up on your worst of list? Which, like I said, when we talked about TSS, I know that's on a lot of people's worst of lists. Was there stuff in different spots that you've got? Was there stuff we didn't even bring up? Maybe some indie films that you people know are really good? Like you, Santino, you brought up a lot of anime films, which I'm sure those aren't on a lot of people's lists. So it's good having that to spice it up. But is there anything that we completely missed that you think should have been on a top 10? Let us know. All
right. So I guess that's it. Thank you for, listening to us. It was quite a long session, but I'm glad that if you're still here at the end, I'm glad that you were able to listen to us. So
absolutely. Yeah. So this is Chad. Have a good evening.
Santino signing off.
And I'm Ken. Take it easy, everyone.